where gentlemen way back in history, the Scottish defeated the English in a battle that lasted only 30 minutes. Dre, in any way, do you believe Josh Taylor rides this tidal wave of excitement from his home crowd in his return and can make quick work of it tonight against Caterool?
I think he might. He's that kind of fighter. He's always shown up in the big moments, and he's been wanting this moment as an undisputed champion in front of his hometown fans. And this is not a night where I think Josh Taylor is going to disappoint.
Starting out, this is a southpaw versus southpaw battle. We call this a close stance battle. Both guys. Ooh,
there's a left hand from Caterool.
Great shot. What I was saying is that both jabs, there's an opening for both guys to land their jab and also their backhand in a close stance battle.
It's noticeable the size advantage, obviously both on the scale at 140 yesterday afternoon. But Taylor has 3 inches on Caterool, and look across his back. Tim, as he said to us yesterday, when he rehydrates and he eats, he expected to step in tonight 16 to 17 pounds north of where he was yesterday. Says he'll be in the mid-150s to high 150s.
I don't doubt it, Tess. Standing at 5'10", without question, but he got a little pit bull in front of him right now. You can see Caterool, he has big shoulders as well. He looks filled out himself.
Good start for Jack Caterool in terms of confidence building, probing with the double jab. When he was 19 years old, he turned pro. He moved to Las Vegas from England, and he was a sparring partner for Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez.
That left hand that you saw from Caterool, that's his best punch. He likes to stay on the back foot and be patient. His right jab is not a powerful jab, it's more of a prodding jab to look to set up a punch or to defend himself. And I want to see if he can play chess with a guy like Josh Taylor.
Well, to me, Josh Taylor right now is rushing things. Could be the atmosphere. Fighting at home for the first time after becoming an undisputed champion. Has to be tough mentally for him to stay under control.
It's the first thing that came to mind, right?
He needs to rough Caterool up every opportunity he gets inside. Tie him up, rough him up, hit him wherever you can hit him. That's where the size starts to take effect.
Trey, that was the first thing that came to mind from Taylor when we asked him about what he needed to do, is not fight with all the emotion that would be in this arena tonight. He feels that he has fought on emotion plenty in recent fights, including winning a title just weeks after his fiancée Danielle's father passed away, and then all the emotion that boiled up last year prior to the Ramirez fight. End of 1. Decent start for Caterool.
Exactly what we said. He's diving in. When you get near the ropes, up the tempo.
Beautiful left hand right there from Caterool. You see the lead hand of Taylor lower down. Oh, sneaking with a nice, beautiful left hand right over the top of it.
Davison, the young 29-year-old trainer who works the corner for Josh Taylor, who led him to that undisputed victory a year ago. Punch stats from the first round, limited but effective from Caterool, considering that opening left hand. One of the 6 punches landed. Of course, Ben Davison, who's the chief second for Josh Taylor, the former trainer of Tyson Fury. Lee Wiley, expert video analyst, also a key part of that team. Round number 2.
Josh Taylor can fight with emotion, guys. It just has to be controlled. Here we see the referee giving Josh Taylor a warning for a rabbit punch. Second warning for Josh Taylor, but he can fight with that emotion. It just needs to be controlled. And Josh has to also shake off the extra pressure because, yes, he's fighting at home, but the burden is on him to perform tonight because he's the undisputed champion.
Well, you see who's controlling the action right now is Caterool, and how he's doing that is with his jab. He
To this point, he has thrown 8 more jabs than Josh Taylor.
Ooh, nice left hand right down the middle after a jab from Catterall. Catterall's being patient, using his jab, controlling the space, and then not allowing Taylor to get set.
Double jab splitting the guard, and there's a 1-2 behind that southpaw right-hand jab.
Basic offense from Catterall, but effective. Paul with the jab. Josh Taylor falls asleep in front of you. Hit him with the straight left. It's not a devastating shot, but it's piling up points for Catterall.
Nearly timed a left hand as well as Taylor came in. That is one of the things that Catterall has keyed in on. Taylor's eagerness.
Catterall right now is confident. You can tell by the way he's fighting. He's very confident right now. You know, Taylor doesn't want this guy to keep building confidence like this. He needs to shut him down.
Good body shot from Taylor right there.
That's exactly how you take the confidence away from the mandatory challenger. You got to beat on him. Tell him that, hey, you're not going to win this fight.
Look at this. And if you've watched closely the lead up to this fight, nothing surprises you with that move from Catterall. Yesterday, he grabbed the throat of Josh Taylor in their final face-off after the weigh-in.
Catterall does well when he can think. I want to see Josh Taylor take away his ability to think and attack him the way that he is to see if Jack Catterall can answer.
And now Taylor trying to close that space as we come to the end of...
On the side of the faith of Josh Taylor, nothing spectacular, but fundamentally sound. And to this point, Josh Taylor has not been able to find an answer for the left hand of Jack Catterall.
In that second round, Jack Catterall had a 15-13 connect advantage.
There's one level of pressure when you're fighting on the road. It's a whole different kind of pressure when you're fighting at home and everyone expects you to do well. That's the pressure that Josh Taylor is dealing with right now.
Taylor probing, trying to find a way through that front door.
Taylor has to continue to press forward. He has to psychologically beat Catterall. If he beats him psychologically, then he can beat on him physically. But he got to continue to press forward.
Marcus McDonald has his hands full tonight, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think he's doing a little bit too much. He doesn't have to stop the time and talk to these guys. It's a professional prize fight. It's a lot of energy. Give them a warning and only stop it if you have to.
And you have to wonder how much McDonald himself was taking in and consuming everything in the lead up to this fight himself and anticipating it would be this kind of night for his work.
You're absolutely right, Tess.
Listen to me, the best refs in the business are the ones that are not seen. I like the ones that are vocal. Tell you what to do from the outside and don't intervene a whole lot.
1-2 again, fired off from Catterall. Had success in the second round with it.
That's Catterall's best shot is a right jab, straight left hand. Taylor's got to get to the side of that, get under that, and make that adjustment. There's no way that Catterall should be hitting Josh Taylor with the same punch over and over and over.
Well, Taylor keeping his head on the center line. He never getting his head off the line. That's the reason why he keeps getting hit with it.
Short right hand on the inside from Taylor.
This is what Catterall has to show that he belongs at this level. Now that Josh Taylor's making the adjustment, what adjustment are you going to make?
You see Taylor continuously trying to land his left hand. The punch that he needs to land is the right hook. He does have one. Catterall is leaning on his side, making himself available for the right hook. Best shot. Instead of shooting the left hand up top, he shot it down to the body. Found the opening right behind the guards of Taylor.
Hometown guy, Preston Pans, Scotland. Was a star in Taekwondo. And then at 15, he said, I want to box. Said he would write on pieces of paper and leave them at the house. His dad still has his day saying, I'm going to be a world champion. He's got all 4 belts. And they're on the line tonight in Glasgow.
Taylor didn't know what he would be a champion in, but he knew he'd be a champion. Just happened to be the sport of boxing.
He's that determined kind of guy that you almost have the feeling when you talk to him, no matter what he shows, he was going to be the best.
Yet to see Catterall match the same intensity as Taylor or make the adjustments. And that's not going to be good for him if he allows Taylor to pick up steam.
Continues to be chippy. Marcus McDonald gets them together to clean it up more. The undefeated Englishman, Jack Catterall, long been the #1 mandatory challenger, patiently waiting, took step-aside money so that Ramirez Taylor could happen. He has been eyeing Taylor for a long time.
Josh Taylor's looking for a big overhand, a straight left hand to the chin of Catterall. He's timing that jab of Catterall that's dropping. He's looking, poking, prodding, and he's waiting for Catterall to drop that right hand so he can land his left hand.
Catterall is looking for the same punch, Dre. He's looking for that backhand as well. He's trying to lure in Josh Taylor. He wants him to make a mistake so he can come right over the top of it.
I think Catterall is less focused on offense right now, and he's more focused on defending himself.
Catterall nearly not protecting himself as he tried to go out the side door and was anticipating a break. He digs with a body shot of his own. Taylor says that was low, but steps to him.
Fellas, Catterall came to fight tonight, fellas.
He did.
He's taking and he's dishing.
From a family of 10.
Josh Taylor just missed that left hand right there, just grazed the head of Catterall. But you're right, Catterall, every time you think he's starting to fade away, he comes back with a big body shot or a straight left hand to let you know he's still here.
Dre, what is that you always say about the undefeated fighter who's never been on this level of the game? You always leave room to find out, right?
You don't know how you're going to deal with a moment like this until you're in this moment. And right now, Catterall is not showing that he can make the adjustments at the same speed as Taylor, but his mind is still there, his temperament is still there, and he's still trying to win.
It seemed like Taylor just came in here just with one game plan on his mind, and that's to knock out Jack Catterall.
Yes.
That's the way he's fighting. He's looking for one shot, but Catterall is slipperier than he thought. He's quicker than he thought, and he's landing some combination of his own.
Same thing that this crowd came to see. End of 4.
Good overhand, good right hand, good body shot. That kind of combination is showing you that Jack Catterall came to win tonight. He's not enamored by Josh Taylor, and he's not intimidated by the crowd. The offense and the way a fighter throws his offense lets you know that he's here to win.
Round number 5 for the undisputed championship of the world. Dre has it 3 rounds to 1. Opening round highlighted by the left hand of Catterall. He did have success in the second round with a solid 1-2. Taylor now closing that gap, trying to punch down with a left hand. Goes to the body on the inside with a right hand, does the champ.
As you can see, Catterall ties up quickly. He doesn't like it inside the pocket. mistake that Taylor's making is he's overshooting the target. He needs to shorten his shots up in the inside if he wants to have success.
The way Taylor reacted there, you would think there was a clash of heads. How he turned to Marcus McDonald.
McDonald wanted no part of it. The reason Josh Taylor is making this fight harder than it needs to be, I believe, is the point that Tim made, which is Taylor didn't come in here to box and set things up. He doesn't believe that Catterall...
Oh, and he hits a left hand again!
He's nice from Catterall.
Jack Catterall lands a big left hand halfway through round 5.
Catterall's tactics tonight are fantastic. He's luring in Josh Taylor. He's making him pay for his mistakes. Josh Taylor's dropping his lead hand, leaving an opening for the left hand, and Jack Catterall is making him pay every single time.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of Taylor being over-anxious, the very thing that Josh Taylor said he didn't want to do tonight. He should have approached this fight as if Jack Catterall was another top guy, respected him, and then tried to set up the knockout. He didn't do that. He's just coming in, looking for the knockout, and Jack Catterall is taking full advantage.
Remember, this fight was originally proposed for December. There was such disruption in the lead-up for Josh Taylor. First part of training camp he describes as an absolute nightmare. Suffered a knee injury that was bothering him, tested positive for COVID, had a bronchial infection. Things were not ideal in the lead-up for Taylor.
Now Taylor's having to deal with swelling on that right eye. I see a little blood or abrasion on his right eye.
Closes the gap with a left hand. Now gets to the inside and Catterall ties up. Boy, have things gotten interesting here at the Hydro Arena. Huge favorite is the Tartan Tornado. But the underdog has made a fight of it, folks.
Relax, hold your eye. Nice, relax, calm place so your body can recover. Yeah? Nice and relax, breathe.
Once you get back to the ropes, you've got to go there. When he's back against the ropes, he's not in a position to let something solid go.
Got a 3-punch combination. Round number 6 for the undisputed junior welterweight championship of the world. Total punches through 5 rounds. Catterall with a 56-35 connect advantage. Triple jab, tried to follow it up, and he's off to a good start here in round 6. The undefeated Englishman, who said he would come out and act this way and be completely unaffected in front of this crowd.
Catterall keeping things very simple. He's not trying to overdo it. He's staying under his feet. He's being very patient. He knows Josh Taylor's going to come to him, and he's either leading when Josh Taylor goes to sleep in front of him, or he's countering Josh Taylor. And right now, Josh Taylor is fighting harder, not smarter.
You see the thing right there that Catterall's doing is he's staying low. You see the taller opponent falling over him. He's just dropping low, changing his level, and he's allowing Taylor to come in and smother himself.
I'm not sure Taylor's going to do it because I think he's made up his mind that he wants to try to chop this tree down tonight, that tree being Catterall, a certain kind of way, but he's got to pick up that right jab. That will help blind Catterall so he can land some of the punches that he's trying to land.
That's been a weakness of Taylor. He doesn't use his jab often. All he uses his jab for is a rangefinder.
But if you're in the corner of Taylor, you'll take the rangefinder. It's better than just standing there loading up and allowing Jack Catterall to counter.
Taylor has a tendency of jabbing, Dre, and he falls in after his jab. He's heavy on the front foot. That's the reason why he keeps getting hit with those left hands over the top. Too heavy.
Now I want to see Josh Taylor make an adjustment. This game plan works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. But can he make the adjustment to pull away in this fight?
Another left hand.
Got caught stepping across that threshold again.
Simple 1-2 from Jack Catterall and very, very effective.
Bing, bing.
See the redness, that abrasion around the right eye of Josh Taylor. He finds himself on the catching end. Far too much than what this crowd ever thought they'd be seeing.
And you see the frustration in Taylor's face when he gets caught. He doesn't have any answers for that left hand right now.
He going out. Josh Taylor may go out tonight if he continues to get hit with these left hands.
Catterall's outlanded Taylor 24-10 over the left.
And it's not a grazing shot, it's a flush shot. And you're starting to see Josh Taylor react. That shot is hurting him. And if he continues to get hit with that shot down the stretch, it might put him down.
Did you see how calm the trainer of Catterall was? Calm, deliberate with his instructions. He felt that Catterall is in control right now, and I feel that he is also.
Saw the power punches in the last round. Dre's got this thing all locked up at 3 rounds apiece. If you follow the odds, the live wagering has now moved to Catterall in the midst of this fight.
Guys, I think the referee needs to get out of the way. This is a really good fight, and I hope he does not interject himself to a point where he takes a point unnecessarily, and that decides the fight.
And you can hear the crowd now reacting to any impression that Josh Taylor puts forth. First half of this fight could not go better for the upset-minded Jack Catterall.
Watch this left hand. Catterall about to land on Josh. He's loading up. He cannot miss with that shot.
Taylor grabbed it right there, tipped Josh Taylor off. Taylor was able to get out of harm's way.
Been in this sport a long time. I'm gonna let y'all know right now, the great ones, they might get hit with that shot maybe once, maybe even twice, but they don't continuously get hit with the same shot over and over without making adjustments.
Catterall is allowing Josh Taylor to do all the heavy lifting, and Catterall just cleaning up all the dirty work of Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's pressing forward. He's got urgency, and Catterall's just waiting, and then unleashing that left hand that seems to land on Josh Taylor more times than it doesn't.
And to add to that, once they get inside, once Josh Taylor gets to where he needs to be punching, Catterall ties him up and don't allow him to work. Nice shot right there from Josh Taylor, closing the gap behind with the right hook.
I know it's been ugly inside, but Taylor can't forget the body. He's not getting what he wants to the head, so he's got to break free in that clinch and allow himself to land some body shots to try to get the attention of Jack Catterall.
This is a good round for Josh Taylor. A lot better round than the last round.
End of 7. Andy Scott with Kell Brook ringside.
Kell, how are you seeing this one so far?
It's an amazing fight. I've got Catterall up actually, you know, in boxing. Do it, and it's spoiling his work. He seemed a bit tense for me, but Catrol seems to more relaxed. But it looks like it's warming right up, and I'm very interested to see how these next rounds go down the stretch.
They were a very confident team, but have you been surprised at how good Catrol has been?
To be honest, where I am, yeah. You know, because I know how good Josh.
Observer ringside. You know, Mark Kriegel had that sit-down interview with Josh Taylor before, where they're going through potential upcoming fights. There were some out there saying, if he wants to make a debut fight at 147 pounds, it'd be a nice time to pick Kell Brook. Forget that. We're in round 8. He's got business ahead of him and still a mountain to climb with a feisty Jack Caterall.
I certainly didn't see this coming, Joe Tassin. I don't know if this is what Josh Taylor isn't doing or if this is just Jack Caterall being better than we anticipated. But either way, Jack Caterall is in this fight.
77-45 connect advantage for Caterall. He's thrown 320-plus punches to 184 for Taylor. That is a knockdown.
And he's that wasn't a flash knockdown.
First minute of round 8, knockdown score. What an opportunity for Caterall.
Fellas, tell him Taylor might go out tonight, fellas. I know I said that earlier, but that left hand cannot miss from Caterall. I told you guys, work ethic, effort, body language, attitude, passion, energy. You can bring that into the fight. That doesn't require skill. That's what we're seeing from Caterall tonight.
Taylor marching forward. Not very wise, in my opinion. I think he needs to clear his head and regroup. And he's going to walk right into another left hand of Jack Caterall.
Listen to me. You've been doing one thing all night long, pressing forward. And this hasn't worked yet for you. You need to step back
adjustment, yes,
and allow Caterall to come to you.
The 1-2 again, and Taylor ties up.
That 3-piece hurt. All 3 punches landed right on the money.
Same combination he scored well with in round 5.
Another big left hand from Caterall.
Caterall exchanging on short inside punches. Taylor looking for something. The right eye does not look good on the undisputed champion at all. Knockdown scored here in round 8 by Caterall.
The body shot right there. Optimistic Caterall. Well placed. Good answer from Caterall right there. 1-2.
Tremendous stuff here in the 8th round, and it is on.
He's ever been. See Josh Taylor trying to do some work down low, but Caterall answered Josh Tayller. Good exchange from both men. Caterall thought he got hit behind the head, but he answered with his punches, and he landed 2 good shots on the chin, the upper and the overhand left on Josh Taylor. Or the upper, and then he missed the uppercut and landed. So 2 overhand lefts put Josh Taylor down.
Hand lefts by Jack Caterall, the first time that Taylor has been knocked out in his career. Look at the pre-fight odds, folks. Taylor was minus 1,300, an overwhelming favorite to retain all 4 belts. Top 10 pound-for-pound fighter, undisputed world champion, being pushed to the cliff's edge here in front of his home crowd.
This is when you earn your money. And this is when you build your reputation and earn that rep. Is when things aren't going your way. Can you find a way? Typically, Josh Taylor does. I don't know about tonight. We're getting ready to find out.
Caterall ahead on Andre's card. Easy to understand how some may even have it a wider gap, but then he will have to contend with the setting, with Glasgow, Scotland, with everything being reacted to in Taylor's favor if we go the distance.
But Catterall gave him some rounds test, allowing Josh Taylor to outwork him. He landed a few shots, but Josh Taylor would maul him and outwork him, and that's why I gave Josh Taylor some of those middle rounds.
CompuBox has it noted that Taylor hasn't landed more than 6 punches in a round since the 3rd round. Round number 9, halfway through.
Hey, fellas, FYI, there's no rematch clause in the mandatory defense. There's no rematch clause. If Jack Catterall can pull this off tonight, there's no way that Taylor can get a shot at those titles. He can walk away with it.
If Jack Catterall can pull this off, it is one of the great career slingshots we have seen in recent boxing history. To go from step-aside money mandatory challenger who patiently waited his turn to be the B-side of a homecoming for the undisputed champion to then pull off this body shot from Taylor.
And Catterall is in this fight tonight because he has taken the punches of Josh Taylor well when other guys in the division were knocked down or knocked out. So you have to give Catterall credit for his chin and his toughness.
Left hand comes in again, not hesitating at all. Left uppercut and then slips the punch.
Where is the IQ of Josh Taylor tonight? I don't know where it is. Could be the fact that he's fighting at home, like we said earlier. But the adjustment is hit the body. If you can't hit the head, continue to hit the body. That's what Taylor needs to do.
A boxing IQ that was so conspicuous in his win against Jose Ramirez.
Get out of the way, ref.
Taylor was masterful last spring in Vegas, setting up the pull counter that scored the signature knockdown in that fight. End of 9. See that clash of heads there in that 9th round.
Look at that face of Catterall.
When the ref breaks you,
Let's show you the way CompuBox sees it right now. Catterall has thrown 407. He's outlanded Taylor 96 to 56, and of course has the knockdown scored in round number 8.
Keep that tempo.
Beat you on the arm, beat you to the body. I'm not taking CompuBox. I'm afraid of.
So now here you have when he went down for the first time in his career. And you can see Catterall trying to respond.
As he should. This is unbelievable from the referee. This amount of warnings.
You would hate to see a fight that has been contested at this level for this grand a prize be teetering on the tightrope of a DQ. Body shot from Taylor.
He's over ref this fight. Catterall still looking for that overhand left. He's waiting for Josh Taylor to make a mistake. And he wants to come over the top. And I don't think Josh Taylor has registered that even in this 10th round.
All he has to do is keep his lead hand up.
That's not happening tonight.
That's all he needs to do. Keep his lead hand up and get his head off the line when he attacks.
For whatever reason, he has not computed where that left hand is coming from, and he's been unable to get out of the way.
Taylor needs to do more of that when there's all the holding and clinching and grabbing and pushing on the inside. Find an answer when Catterall is tying up. Do something more at these moments of grasping and holding. Look at that right eye of the champ. as he comes forward with a lead left.
That's interesting right there. Taylor came out in orthodox stance. That's a nice change-up right there from Taylor.
Then he switches on the inside and throws a left uppercut from a southpaw stance. A sign of desperation. There's no doubt it's reached that point as the championship rounds have arrived. Taylor feels a surge of momentum. Undisputed junior welterweight. He stepped into the ring as a minus 1,300 underdog. And right now, he could be 6 minutes away from one of the ultimate upsets. And Ben Davison, the young trainer of Josh Taylor, is being asked to handle some of the grease around that damaged right eye. Here we go. Round 11. Up jab from Caterall.
Small little adjustment right there from Taylor. You saw him get underneath that left hand right there. He needs to do more of that.
I think Caterall could do more offensively if he wanted to. Not sure that's his temperament or his game plan, but he certainly can pile up more points and leave no room for doubt if he opened up a little bit more.
Dre, I completely agree with you in terms of don't hesitate. If you're in this position, go for it. He was at double-digit connects for most of this fight. The last 2 rounds, 9 and 7. Has to keep up that work rate if he wants to go through the finish line in a spot like this.
The mistake that Caterall has made is his body language has been bad all fight.
Yep.
He's allowed Josh Taylor to look like the boss. When you allow Josh Taylor to march towards you and you back up and Josh Taylor gets off a few shots, some land, some don't, it just looks like he's in control of the round and the moment.
Goodness, Josh Taylor right now, he's a winner, man. He's definitely a winner. He's pressing right now, and he continues to pressing forward, even though he's getting hit with big shots here and there. He is trying to find a way, baby.
You see moments like that from Josh Taylor where he just leaps in with the lead uppercut. It wasn't even a good one. That's not the type of caliber of fighter that he is, but that's who he's shown himself to be tonight. He's been over anxious. I don't know if he underestimated Jack Caterall. That was a question going into this fight, but Jack Caterall has taken full advantage. He is in this fight. We don't know what the scorecards read, but he has certainly proved a lot of people wrong, and I'm one of them.
What blows me away, Dre, is in terms of that point of fight strategy and execution, it was something that was acknowledged. It was a concern of Taylor's and something that Caterall pointed out, that Josh often has the flaw of rushing his work, of being too eager.
He said that. Caterall said that.
Physically right now is, sorry, go ahead, champ, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's surprising to me that Caterall hasn't done anything spectacular tonight. It's been a basic offense and a basic defense, and I'm just shocked that Josh Taylor has not made the adjustment in taking control of this fight.
It's a good way to describe it. Basic. But sometimes just being solid is spectacular.
Fundamentals, yes.
It doesn't have to be better than him 100 times just tonight. A point deduction is being taken by Marcus McDonald, the referee, charged against Josh Taylor. Marcus McDonald is overly officious as a referee in a fight of this magnitude.
It's not
looking at this level of the sport. Let's have these guys decide it right here, right now. 3 minutes for the undisputed championship. 2 undefeateds. Get after it, gentlemen.
Winning is a drug. It's the most sought-out drug known to humanity. Josh Taylor is addicted to winning, and he'll do anything it takes. to win tonight, I'm sure.
Neither man knows how to lose. 18-0 for Taylor, 26-0 for Catterall. One guy's got all the bumps. One guy's been dreaming of it. Taylor probing with that southpaw jab. Shortens the gap with a left hand. We've got a damaged scorecard thanks to the official. You see a 9-9 round on Dre's scorecard. 10-8 in the 8th is earned because of the knockdown. You also have the foul for pushing down charged against Catterall in the 10th round. These scorecards are going to be every which way.
Catterall, if he wants to win this fight, he has to close the show strong. He cannot allow Taylor to keep taking the initiative. He's losing these rounds, close rounds, because he continuously bagging up. You can't beat a champion like that.
Agreed. That has been the case down the stretch. Taylor has to work on these inside spots more and more, though, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Both fighters got a minute left.
"60 seconds to determine it." Are we sitting on a massive upset, or will Josh Taylor escape and retain all 4 belts? The clinching, the hugging, the grappling continues. Short on the inside. Catterall looking for something here in the final 30 seconds.
Catterall right there stood his ground, planted his feet, and shot a combination right up the middle and landed every single shot.
Taylor comes charging in.
And do things like that where he just landed one body shot, but it looks like he's chasing you. It looks like he's in control.
Exactly.
So sometimes judges will forget about the 2-3-piece combination that Catterall just landed.
It was that left hand to the body. Final bell. Final punches. Both men raising their arms. Taylor feels like he did enough down the stretch. Catterall likely feels like he banked enough right through that 8th round when he scored the knockdown. As Jamie...
After 12 rounds here inside Ovo Hydro, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Howard Foster scores the bout 113-112 Catterall. Ian John Lewis scores the bout 114-111 Taylor. Victor Laughlin scores the bout 113-112 for your winner by split decision. And still undisputed super lightweight champion